fall. More specifically, early November is my favorite time of the year. And not for all the cliched poetic reasons either, like leaves changing colors and that sort of business. I love early November because you can rock a hoodie and be comfortable 24/7. It's also when Upper Deck Series 1 hockey gets released. But most importantly, it's when I became a dad for the very first time.
Birthday boy, you pick first.
Full disclosure, this is the first case we ever broke, so we called in a little help. And we were all about them young guns, son.
That is sick, dude.
And one young gun in particular.
Come on, Coop. Come on, Coop. Yeah, I got the Jack Hughes.
Did ya? Nice.
Coop short. I knew that was going to be that bad.
And this is the story of how it ended up in the hot little hand of the birthday boy. My name is Nick Wosika. I'm a photo addict with a sports problem. And this is the Card Show. One month earlier, I found myself in the Garden State. It was the afternoon before opening night for the New Jersey Devils. Players took the ice for practice when I ran into the club's shooter editor of hockey content, which is kind of a dream job, even though it wasn't what he originally wanted to be when he grew up.
A writer for Sports Illustrated, but then I got to college and realized I didn't like writing as much as I thought, and I fell in love with shooting, being behind the camera.
After graduation from Temple University, Chris grinded it out for a few months at an editing house when his alma mater came calling with an offer to be the charter member of the athletic department's content team.
You come from a place where it's, D1 sports, but it's pretty low pressure. When you go to a professional hockey team, there's a lot of expectations.
It's a good thing Chris had tons of experience and a vast knowledge of hockey prior to taking the position.
I never played hockey. I very rarely watched hockey. My family was a big basketball family.
What? Now in his fourth season, that last statement is a credit to how good Chris is at what he does.
One of the things I think was probably the scariest part about taking a job like this is you're basically learning a sport. I knew the basics of hockey, obviously. I watched sports all my life, so just in terms of even just shooting hockey is a completely different sport. When you watch hockey on TV, it's up from all the way up here. You don't think about how fast they're moving. Hockey, what's extremely challenging about hockey is it's not straight forward and back. Everything is on a curve. It takes a little bit for them to get from point A to point B in a normal sport. It's more like point A, B, C, and then they're at D, and that's where they end. So I think that's one of the things that was extremely challenging, but extremely rewarding now that when you get to a point where, I'm comfortable where I can throw on a 200 millimeter telephoto lens. I can track that player from halfway across the ice all the way up to the boards in front of me. And when you nail that, that's probably one of the most satisfying shots you can get.
The job isn't without its challenges, though.
The toughest part, I think, of my job is logistically getting to places and putting yourself in a position to get the cool stuff. It prepares you for basically any type of shooting you could possibly imagine.
Not gonna lie, kind of a jelly, bro. With all the big personalities and a stable of young studs busting at the seams, this is a club that on paper could make a lot of noise.
And we're doing a lot of really fun stuff, and I think it's at a perfect time when we have a team that is now looking pretty good. So it's a really exciting time to be here and to be part of this team.
I agree. I needed a cardboard fix, so it's off to East Coast Connection to shop 36 years in the making to talk with owner Mike Calvinico about the buzz surrounding this year's crop of young guns.
The young guns have as I put it, a cult following. People can't wait to get a hold of a young gun. That's the true art of collecting, is a young gun, because you're not looking for that $50,000 card, that $20,000 card. You're looking for a base card that there are 6 in a box. Mike, when's it coming in? When will you have it? Can I get a case? Do I have to pay you up front? What do I got to do? That's when you know the hype is real. When people are willing to pay you up front and willing to, give you a deposit for a box, you know it's real, and they can't wait for it to happen. Every year around we call it election time because it's always around the 8th or 7th of November. They're outside waiting for the UPS truck.
Well, that sounds
They
familiar.
can start opening, looking for their youngers. They're not looking for the autographs. They're not looking for game use. All they're looking for are 6 young guns in a box. That's it. And that's the fun part of collecting.
You ain't wrong. And that also sounds strikingly familiar.
That is what you want a true collector to be like, to be looking for that young gun.
Being so close to Newark, hockey has always been big, but there are always certain events that kick it up a notch.
In 15-16, hockey got extra life in it. Connor McDavid, was he the real deal? Was he the Gretzky, Lemieux combined? Yes, he was. And everybody, guys that didn't collect for 10 or 15 years, are now collecting in the hobby again.
And if you're wondering what's in Mike's PC,
I collect a little bit of everything. I collect some hockey, the Crosbys, the Ovechkins, Gretzky's, Nikos. I'm going to be looking for Jack Hughes.
yeah, you and me both. The next day, I head back to the Prudential Center for morning skate. Upon arrival, I'm greeted with this.
That's right, opening night. We know we're gonna be Stanley Cup champions. You don't know. Devils, yeah!
You guys do this every year?
I've been doing this for 23 years. I've been painting my face and coming to hockey games. I love my New Jersey Devils more than life. Go Devils! Yeah!
After making my way through security, I get set up in the photo workroom and make my way to the arena for some test shots. This isn't the norm when I typically cover a game. And honestly, this was the first morning skate I've ever attended. Satisfied with the results, I was getting hungry. So I made my way to Hobby's Deli, a Newark institution ran by brothers, with a symbiotic relationship with the New Jersey Devils. The walls are adorned with Devils memorabilia, and the menu is full of items inspired by current and former players. I can't say they were always Devils fans, but people can change.
But yes, I was a Rangers fan, but Devils invested in our town. You know, we're long-time Newarkers here. I was born here. Newark is very much our hometown, and they came and they have really helped transform this city.
The relationship between the delicatessen and the club began immediately.
We were in the arena for the first 3 years the arena was here. We had a stand in the Taste of Newark. So we met Lou Lamoriello from that. And
That was an exciting day when Lou came in for the first time.
all of a sudden you see him in the window, you see him coming in. He came running over here. He said, they told me I promised I'd come.
You saw both.
Yeah, hey, shush. And he came running over, and he sat down and spent 2.5 hours talking to Mark, my father, and myself, just to get to know us.
What did Lou order? Was he a same thing every time type of guy, or did he switch it up?
He changed up. Okay. He changed up. He started with turkey, went to tuna, and at the end we were making him caprese salads. Okay. So, we don't make caprese salads.
Well, when you're the GM responsible for hanging 3 banners, I think you can get whatever you want. As for the player-inspired menu selection, you can blame the league's all-time winningest netminder for that.
It started, I think it was year 2 of the arena. Martin Brodeur brought us our season tickets, and he had our California chicken sandwich, grilled chicken, arugula, fresh mozzarella, avocado, roasted pepper, tomato, and on
Herb mayo
on 12-grain bread.
Toast. Come on, Mike.
And that's what he ate with some poutine because
He did declare our poutine the best in the lower 48. Okay. So we appreciate it.
So
Of the items that followed, some were very much player-driven.
Nico, when they brought Nico in, when they rolled him out after he was drafted first, we were told this is what Nico wants: grilled chicken with authentic Swiss, lettuce, tomato,
onion.
roll, onion. So he designed that sandwich, and we said, okay, fine. So sometimes they'll tell us what they want. Sometimes it's a collaboration. Sometimes they need a suggestion. So we're open to all of it.
Jack Hughes will be coming in a few weeks to create a sandwich.
I tried my best to get a preview into the culinary mind of the NHL's 2019 #1 overall draft pick. But that wasn't happening.
We talked to him and we said to him,
we can't divulge at this time.
What happens when a player leaves?
Well, I think Henrique is the only one that has left, and Henrique has a very special place in the hearts of all Devils fans. Not only did he score that goal, but he's such a gentleman, he's such a good guy. We kept that up on the board for the rest of the year. And as a matter of fact, when we recently had a fire that had our dining room closed for 5 weeks, all the memorabilia on the walls had to go out and be cleaned. Adam Henrique found out that we had nothing on the walls. He sent us a signed picture of himself to, wishing us luck.
At one point, that was the only thing on our wall.
That was the only thing on our wall. Anytime Henrique is here, he can have his sandwich for sure.
That's pretty cool. So I'm guessing players are probably chomping at the bit to get on the menu?
Sometimes the player will say, we'll be like, oh, what are you having there? We'll put it up as a menu item, and they're like, don't you dare. I don't want anyone to know that I just ate that. We've had others that...
So what happens at Hobby stays at Hobbies.
We've had others have something and it be something that we're like, no, we're just not.
We're not doing that.
We can't do that, I'm sorry.
Crimes against Great Deli will not be permitted at Hobbies. With all the devil stuff on the walls, I thought I'd try to make a contribution. Maybe.
Can I make a deal with you guys?
It depends.
All right. If I land the Jack Hughes rookie card, can I make a sizable print of it and send it to you guys and we hang it up somewhere in the restaurant?
Yeah, sure.
Oversized hockey.
We can do that.
We shake on it right now?
Done.
I got to link the card first. So if I do, I'll send it to you.
All right, you got it.
Guys at that,
I gotta tell you, the people I've got to meet and hang out with during this little photographic adventure have been some of the most charismatic, kindest, cool characters I've ever met. A sentiment not lost on these two.
Jersey gets a bad rap.
I think so too.
Jersey gets a bad rap. Newark gets a bad rap. Newark is filled with wonderful people.
Right.
And a few knuckleheads. That's Jersey.
Yeah.
That's Jersey.
And I like it. On my way out, I stopped a couple of fans to gauge their excitement.
We're both from Montreal. I'm a longtime Devils fan. He's my cousin. Yeah, same as well. Big PK fan. Huge PK fan. I grew up as a big Brodeur fan. I saw him play the first time, and I kind of got stuck to the team. And then I fell in love with the defensive mantra: Stevens, Rafalski, Niedermeyer, Danico, all the boys back then. And I've been loyal since day one, and don't plan on ever ditching.
It's only a 90-minute flight from Montreal to Newark. So I asked the guys if this was a regular pilgrimage for them.
No, that's my first time in Jersey, first time at Prudential. Not our first Devils game. I've seen him play the Canadians multiple times, but definitely would like to do this again and again more often, seeing how easy accessible it is.
I love to visit other barns to catch games. These guys too.
I've personally gone to the United Center, Chicago, been to Toronto, to the Scotiabank place, and the Bell Center all the time. Yeah, the Bell Center's pretty electric, so we're pretty spoiled back home.
There was definitely a buzz on the streets about this year's club, and these guys could feel it too. But just with the kind of insight that belongs on the NHL Network.
Super. I mean, not only Jack. I mean, you got Gusev, you got Simmons, you got the Rat in his third year, you got Heischer in his third year, you got the way the whole team is coming together is just really exciting. And then to add Jack to the offseason contributions, I think Ray has done a great job. I think the fans are happy, and we have something to be excited about, for the first time in a long time, not just 2-1 games, 2-0 games. But now we get to see 5-1, 3-1, 4-1, and see score. Yeah, score. See some goals. It's a fun time to be a Devils fan.
And Corey Schneider too.
Healthy. Yeah. Healthy Schneider is definitely making me feel better about our chances.
It's called the Card Show. I gotta ask.
Yeah. I got a couple binders full back home.
Who are your guys growing up? Remember, and how did you start your binders?
Brodeur. I grew up a Brodeur fan, die hard. I mean, he's from Montreal again, from my area as well. So it was a tight affiliation. And I got binders of Brodeur. I have jerseys. I got you name signed sticks, memorabilia. It's out of the wazoo. But now, it's the new age of Devils hockey, and I'm a little older, and I get to appreciate this a little more. But man, these guys, I love them all. I love everybody.
Where are your seats tonight? Where you guys sitting?
We're section 21 at
Row
row 21. Yeah, we got pretty good seats too.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Have fun
sir,
tonight.
likewise. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Take care.
If I ever make my way to Montreal, I'm hitting these two up for sure. I still had some time to kill before puck drop, and fans started showing up for the players' red carpet entrance into the arena. So I grabbed some cardboard to hand out to the youngest inhabitants of Devils Nation.
Like hockey cards? Here. Give me a pack of these too. Don't tell anyone. All right?
It's heartwarming
All right, have fun.
to see the smiles and hear the thank yous this small gesture brings.
Thank you.
Yeah, you better take one. Go. Open them up, see if you get anywhere good.
Now from fun to cool, as these young ladies would walk the players down the red
Best part of our
carpet.
job is right here. Seeing all these young girls as part of our World Girls Hockey celebration. They're going to be walking with the players, celebrating World Girls Hockey Weekend, and of course just having an amazing moment.
Amazing moment is right. Look at all the happiness. How cool is that? It was almost game time, and typically there are about 6 photographers covering a specific game. On this night in Newark, I would say that number tripled. So space was limited, and I'd only get one period on the glass to get what I needed. I wouldn't get onto the glass until the third, so I spent the first 2 frames wandering the Prudential, peacefully battling fans, staff, and other photographers for sightlines. After 40 minutes of hockey, my number was called to occupy prime real estate in the Devils' attack zone. I spent a lot of time clock watching as I hoped the majority of play would end up in my end. And in a flash, it was over. So I packed up the chaos and made my way back to the hotel to edit. I managed to squeeze off 95 usable frames of Jack Hughes. We only needed one, and I wasn't sure if I had it. Early the next morning, it was time to say goodbye to Newark. 2,780 miles and 5 hours of well-deserved sleep later, I had traveled from the Atlantic to the Pacific to hand-deliver the photos from last night's game. And the reason for all of this?
The opening part of the season is our big push, basically to get the main drivers for everything around here are the Young Guns cards for UD1. Reason being is that we try to release it basically within less than a month of the start of hockey season, which is pretty difficult to do.
What makes this so difficult?
The rules with the PA and the NHL are that guy has to hit the ice in a regular season game for us to make a trading card of him.
So in 1 month's time, a photo will go from my camera to your collection, with dozens of steps in between. After much deliberation and a ton of knowledge gained in the card production process, an image was selected. And this is when it was captured. Was it all worth it? $100%.